Imagine for a moment the chilling reality of spending your days and nights in a cell, confined within cold, unyielding walls for a crime you never committed. Every passing second, a reminder of a stolen life, a life you're desperately yearning to reclaim. Now, shift that image to the heart-stopping, life-altering moment when you're finally told you're free to go. The shock, the disbelief, the overwhelming wave of emotions that crash over you. In today's video, we're not just telling stories, we're diving into the very souls of those who've endured the unimaginable. Hello, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers on our channel. If you're joining us for the first time, you're stepping into a world where extraordinary stories unfold, stories that challenge, inspire, and sometimes even shake us to our core. Today, we have lined up something truly remarkable for you. We're going to delve into the depths of human endurance, exploring the lives that were shattered by the harshest of injustices, wrongful convictions. So stay with us as we unravel these incredible stories of liberation and witness the first raw moments of newfound freedom. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell icon for all updates. Number 5. Daniel Villegas. Let's begin with the story of Daniel Villegas. He was a teenager, just 16 years old, when his life took a drastic and unfair turn. He was accused of committing a very serious crime, being involved in a double homicide, which means he was blamed for the death of 2 people. But here's the critical part. Daniel didn't do it. He was innocent. Despite his innocence, the police put a lot of pressure on him during their investigation. They made him feel scared and confused. Under this intense pressure, Daniel ended up confessing to the crime, a confession he later said was not true. He only said those things because he was frightened and didn't know what else to do. Daniel spent 18 years, almost 2 decades, in prison. Now, think about the day Daniel found out he was going to be set free. After all those years, the truth finally came out. The court realized that Daniel had been wrongly convicted. The moment he heard he was going to be released, it was a mix of so many feelings: shock, happiness, and probably a lot of disbelief. After spending more than half of his life in prison for something he didn't do, Daniel was finally going to walk out free. Number 4. John Bunn. John Bunn's story is one of those that really sticks with you. He was just a teenager, only 14 years old, when his life turned upside down. John found himself caught in a situation he never imagined. He was accused and then convicted of killing an off-duty correction officer. It's hard to think about being so young and facing something so serious. For 17 years, John lived a life he didn't choose, behind bars. Those are years when most of us are figuring out who we are, making mistakes, and learning from them. But for John, those years were spent in a prison cell, away from family, friends, and the everyday freedoms we often take for granted. The day John was set free was a day filled with so many emotions. Imagine what it must have felt like for him, stepping out of the courthouse. No longer a prisoner, he was finally free. After almost 2 decades, John was overwhelmed with emotions. There were tears, of course, tears of joy, relief, and perhaps a bit of sadness for the time lost. He spoke about getting his identity back, about finally being seen as more than just a number or a case. John's story is a tough one, but it's also inspiring. It shows us how strong the human spirit can be and how important it is to keep fighting for what's right. Number 3. David Ranta. Let's talk about David Ranta, a man whose life story is both shocking and inspiring. David was just an ordinary guy, but his life took a dramatic turn when he was accused of a serious crime, the murder of a rabbi. Despite the lack of solid evidence, David was found guilty and sent to prison. Imagine that for a moment, being punished for something you didn't do, and knowing you're innocent, but no one believes you. David lived through this nightmare for 23 years. That's more than 2 decades of his life spent behind bars, missing out on family, friends, and all the everyday joys of life. Now, Picture the day David was finally set free. After all those years, the truth came out that he was innocent. The moment he heard he was going to be released must have been surreal. Think about how you would feel if, after years of being trapped, you were suddenly told that you could go home. For David, it was a mix of happiness, relief, and probably a lot of confusion. He stepped out of prison into a completely changed world, with the challenge of starting his life over again. Number 2. Lorenzo Vargas. Next, we have Lorenzo Vargas. His story is one that truly touches the heart. Imagine being mistaken for someone you're not, and because of that mistake, you lose 16 years of your life. This is exactly what happened to Luis. He was wrongly identified as the person responsible for a series of crimes he never committed. For 16 long years, Luis lived a life he didn't choose, behind bars, away from his family, and everything he loved. Every day, he hoped and waited for the truth to come out. Then, one incredible day, it did. Luis was finally proven innocent and released from prison. The day Luis was set free was unforgettable. As he walked out, he saw his family waiting for him. They hadn't seen each other for so long, but their love hadn't faded. There were lots of tears, hugs, and smiles. It was a moment of pure happiness and relief. Luis, who had been so strong through all those tough years, was finally back with the people he loved. His story is a reminder of how important it is to always search for the truth and to never give up hope, no matter how hard things get. Number 1. Susan Mellon. Let's take a closer look at the story of Susan Mellon, a woman whose life was turned upside down by a terrible mistake. Susan was an ordinary person, just like anyone else, but one day she found herself caught in a nightmare. She was accused and then convicted of a crime she didn't commit. The evidence against her, it was based on a story made up by someone else, a story that wasn't true at all. But that false story was enough to put her behind bars. Susan spent 17 long years in prison. Imagine that, 17 years. That's like watching a child grow up into an adult. But for Susan, those years were spent in a cell, away from her family, her friends, and her life. Every day, she hoped and prayed that someone would find out the truth and realize she was innocent. Then, one day, it happened. Susan's case was re-examined, and they found out that she had been telling the truth all along. She was innocent. The feeling she had when she heard the news must have been unbelievable. After so many years of being told she was something she wasn't, she was finally free. The day Susan walked out of prison, she wasn't angry or bitter. Instead, she was happy and full of hope for the future. Her story reminds us that sometimes terrible mistakes can be made, but it also shows us the strength of a person who can go through all that and still come out with a smile, ready to start their life again. If these stories touched your heart, hit the like button, share this video, and let your voice be heard in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that brings to light the stories that matter. Thank you for watching. Remember, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Stay informed, stay connected, and join us next time. Until then, take care and keep seeking the truth.